Hello friends, and welcome back to our Bass Fishing 101 series of Adventures at Home. This is episode 5 of our Intro to Bass Fishing course. Today we're going to be talking about hard baits. This is kind of a hard one to talk about because I'm not at the river right now, so I will probably do a follow-up video later if you want it. There's a couple different main types of hard baits that I use. One of them is going to be the popper. This is a topwater lure. You tie into the face here, and then this sits on the top of the water. A good one is gonna sit a little canted down in the water like this to where that tail is down below, and then you're gonna, when you twitch it, it goes forward and makes a little wadoo sound, and this can trigger aggressive fish. This is generally for early morning and late evening because there's less light, so the bass are looking up to try and see stuff because there's not enough light to see below them. Then next up we have the square bill crankbait. The square bill crankbait is really good around rocks and logs because this bill, when it hits a log, tends to knock the bait over the log, and then it keeps going. And it does the same thing with rocks. So you would think because it has these two big hooks hanging off of it, it would snag up like crazy, and it does on grass, but on rocks and logs, it tends to deflect pretty well. For these, you want to reel it kind of quickly to get it down to depth, and then you want to slow down. And when you hit a log or something and you can feel it bump over it, you tend to want to give it a pause. Imagine when you're walking and you hit your head into a door frame, you kind of take a second to gather your thoughts. So it's the same thing with this bait fish. If it just hit into something head first, it's gonna probably, you want it to look disoriented and confused. And a lot of times bass love that. They're like, oh my goodness, he's confused, he's lost, we can go get him. Then we have lipless crankbaits. Now, lipless crankbaits are good in open water, especially where there's shad, because this one specifically is a shad pattern, gizzard shad, and it swims through the water, vibrates, and is very loud. So these don't deflect off of rocks and stuff nearly as well as the square bill. So don't be throwing these at trees and rocks where you might lose it. An advantage to these over the square bills is that you can throw them in grass. Again, you're thinking, there's these two crazy hooks off the bottom, they're gonna catch up on everything. But that's not the case if you fish it correctly. With the lipless crankbait in grass, traditionally this is done in grassy lakes, early spring, pre-spawn season, with either a silver or a red is really good as well. You can throw it, it will go down, bury into the grass, and then you rip it up very hard, and it will rip its way free of that grass and get the bass all excited, and that will actually rip the grass off the hooks while you're doing that, and it will work out fine. Then next we have this is a semi-deep diving crankbait for its size, but you have deep diving crankbaits. These have a really big rounded bill on the front, and they go pretty deep. This particular one runs about 10 feet deep, and then there's some, like, I believe Strike King has some that will run up to like 30 feet deep. A problem with deep diving crankbaits is that they don't perform very well from the bank, because as you're trying to reel it in, this is basically just a bulldozer going through the mud, and that's no good. But these are good for targeting deep suspended fish. And this particular one, because it's a little bit smaller, is supposed to be really good for white bass. And you can tell the difference between this and a square bill because compared to the size of the bait, the bill is significantly larger. And there's some that the bill is even sometimes bigger than the bait itself. and it has the rounded corners on it. Okay, for hard baits, because we have treble hooks on it, we want to be fishing these on a rod that is fairly bendy if we can. For these baits here, it is best to throw them on a fluorocarbon line because that has a lot of stretch, which will help keep from pulling these hooks out of the fish's mouth. But fluorocarbon sinks, so you want to do either straight braid or braid to a monofilament leader, because braid has a tendency to get tangled around the treble hooks, but braid and monofilament float. So braid to a mono leader or straight braid or straight mono is what you want for all topwater baits. You can throw them on fluorocarbon, but it's gonna mess up the action, so it's not ideal. I've thrown these baits, all of them, on straight braid, not had too many problems with it. So if braid is all you have, don't feel the need to go out and get another rod. Just go out there, catch some fish, have some fun. And thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, just go ahead and post those in the comments down below. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.